they tested her. That's when she failed the DNA test for having an XY chromosome. She subsequently was tested for high testosterone.
Right.
Also. So you have, and she's got genetic male characteristics. So
yeah.
It looks like a guy in the face with.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Palumbo Podcast. I'm Dave Palumbo. We have a great show for you today. Lee Priest is back. Jimmy Mentis is back by popular demand. Of course, John Romano is here. And Lee, I know you like to dress up, but explain to us what's with the eye patch.
He looks like a cross between. Wait, he looks like a cross between Hugh Hefner and a pirate.
And Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp and Hugh Hefner.
Mansion.
I'm just in my trailer, John, waiting for my few scenes in the next Pirates of the Caribbean. In between shooting, I thought I'd come on and just, actually look like Patch from Days of Our Lives. Remember Patch from Days of Our Lives?
Yeah.
That means you watched the show too, John. Oh, I know.
No, I just happen to know who that is.
What a great
show. Why?
So, Lee, are you able to? Can you see out of that eye now, or it's just like?
I've only got along because these lights are bright, but I normally leave it off just so I can air it. But still, because the day before they did the cornea, they had to do the laser stuff to burn grooves around it somehow. So now it looks like when I had laser surgery done back in early 2000. At the moment, it still looks like I'm looking through water, like everything's just totally blurry.
Did they happen to change the color of the eye just so you look a little freakier?
They should have. Actually, when I came out, here's the funny thing: I've always wanted a scar. My wife was going to kill me because the day I got home, because they put a needle in your eye and this whole side of your face from here to here, is dead, and it was dead for 10 hours. I'm like, honey, get me the razor blade. I'm going to.
Oh, you're out of your fucking mind.
Oh, Jesus!
You wouldn't give me the razor blade. I'm like, go get the box cutter. And I'll cut it here. You can sew it up. I can't feel a fucking thing.
What do you think? You're the Joker?
She's like, no, I think you still got the Valiums in your system. You're talking garbage. I'm like, honey, it is so numb. You can just get the razor blade.
So, all right. What if she had done it? What would you be saying right now?
Yeah.
I say it looks cool because I've always wanted a scar.
Would it be just a cut? Would it be just a cut with stitches?
Yeah, like the old days where you'd see Scarface, like the old gangsters would have a big scar across their eye. I actually wanted that before the face tattoo. That's what led me to the face tattoo. So I'm thinking, while it's numb, just cut it. I can't feel a thing.
Listen, that's a serious surgery you had, a cornea replacement. You could go blind from that. I mean, that's not like what I had, a cataract removal.
The tattoo artist told me I could have went blind getting the tattoo on my eyelid, but he told me that after I got the tattoo on my
I understand that. But it's not even the eye they tattooed. It's the other eye that you had the problem with.
I know. So I could be blind in both eyes, Dave.
That's right.
I could be Helen Keller right now.
Oh, my God. Well, you know what? There's a guy at the gym. Do you know Aaron Reed? You might know him, Lee. He lived in Venice for a while. He's
Oliver Reed's son.
Now, Aaron Reed is like a bodybuilder. He trains actually at the gym out here in Cape Coral. Lives out here now, but he's like 6'8". This guy, good looking guy. He's got a great physique. He competed in bodybuilding. He was in the WWE for a little while. He's in that new Wolverine versus Deadpool movie.
He's a big boy.
Juggernaut.
He plays Juggernaut. Pretty cool.
The only reason I know him was because someone sent me a video where he was talking massive shit about me.
Oh, yeah, he likes to talk a lot of shit about people, but yeah.
And I don't even know the guy, and he's just rambling on saying shit about me. I'm like,
he's impressive because he's so tall. I mean, he's literally 6'8", but he's well proportioned. Sometimes guys are really tall and they look kind of weird. But he's balanced. Like he's got legs.
Juggernaut in the cartoon, was Juggernaut really big, or was he like Rain Man on He-Man? Remember Rain Man was like Juggernaut?
Yeah,
short?
I don't know. Well, Aaron is fucking, like I said, super tall. So
I saw him at the Tampa. I saw him at the Tampa Pro a couple of years ago in the lobby.
He used to live there.
He's
impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah.
Impressive. Yeah. He's impressive because of his height too. I mean, it's just crazy.
And he's in shape too. He's in shape.
No, yeah. He's always ripped too. He's always ripped.
He does all his videos from his pool.
I would like to know, you know what? I would like to know, does he shoot all those videos at one time, or does he get in the pool every day or twice a day or 3 times a day? Like, let me tell you, when I first heard him, I'm like, this guy's an asshole, right?
Yeah.
But the information he was saying, it made sense.
No, he's not dumb. He's a pretty smart guy.
But the way he says it, man, it is shock value too, right? I got used to it after a while because I listen to him now. I watch him in my timeline. But in the beginning, he goes, "Oh, you're a fucking pussy if you eat this and you don't eat this." I'm like,
everyone's got to find like their own little niche on social media, their own little shtick. So he's got like that like bad boy, like thing going on. So you might told him a while ago. I said, "Look, you should be in WWE." This before I knew he was in WWE. He's like, "Yeah, I was in it for a little while. I think he got hurt or something like that." But I said, then you've got to be in the movies. I said, because you're a bigger than life character. I said, there's no reason why you shouldn't be, you got the looks. You got the physique. You shouldn't forget bodybuilding. I said, you're not going to make any money bodybuilding. I said,
he's like Martin Ford. He could end up in those Roman gladiator.
Look at him. Yeah, he's great. Yeah. He's doing great now too.
Yeah.
But Aaron's not all tatted up. He still can play like he can play a good guy or a bad guy. You know what I mean? So it's not. I think he's got more flexibility.
You're never going to be a good guy when you look like that.
he's got a good mouthpiece on him too, and I think that's important. Triple H once told me, he's like, you know what? We can make anyone a star in the WWE. It doesn't matter if you can wrestle or not, as long as you got a mouth on you. That's all we care about.
The media can make anyone a star. Just look at the dumbness of Catch You Outside, Hut 2 Girl, and everyone. They make it feel like it's fucking nothing.
I watched. I don't know if you saw. I couldn't get through the whole thing, but Bill Maher had the Hawk Tua girl on, and he was. I don't even know why he had her on because that's like totally anti Bill Maher. Like he's against like morons and like and people who like that. He had her on. It was almost like he felt bad for her, and he was like trying to like give her ideas for her the next thing she should do. And it was such an awkward interview because she really just said, "Look, I'm a white trash hillbilly. I don't even know." She didn't get one reference that he was making to anyone. She didn't know movies. She didn't know history. She knew absolutely nothing, and she wasn't embarrassed to say, I don't know who these people are. He's like, well, you're 20 years old. Of course you don't know. But anyone who went to high school would know who he was talking about, like presidents, ex-presidents.
I'm from the Appalachians. I only know my great-great-uncle.
Yeah.
Right. But isn't it nice to see that kind of person still exists? It's almost like they're unspoiled, Like,
right.
John, it's scary, though, that people are like that they don't have any education whatsoever. Their claim to fame is how they're going to spit on someone's penis,
but she's also a singer. I mean, she's got some.
She's not a singer.
She is.
She's not a singer. God.
How dare you laugh at her, Dave?
She can
try to help the girl out here.
From the field. That's not her only skill she's got.
That Catch You Outside girl that was on Dr. Phil, she became a rapper and won Rapper of the Year award and everything else.
Well, she might have had skill, but the Hawk Tua girl doesn't have any talent, believe me.
How do you know, Dave? She's well liked in the Appalachians. She's got plenty of talent.
You should go down there and marry her. I think that would probably be Lee Priest marries the Hawk Tua girl. That would be Blackman would restart muscular development.
No, you'd have to move to wherever that is first.
I'll start a new podcast.
Tennessee.
Hut 2 and shoelaces. That'll be the podcast.
I don't know. I'm glad to see we still have good old-fashioned American hillbillies in America. That's a source of national pride right there.
Yeah.
Tell you,
John. There's a lot of hillbillies still around.
I know. I'm glad about it. But I mean, when I see someone like that who doesn't know whomever is, I take that as a good thing. Isn't that stuck on her phone all day?
Isn't that JD Vance's claim to fame, being a hillbilly?
Yep.
Right.
Right. He started out that way. Yeah.
How many more things we're going to see on this lapse in time from that shooting in Butler when they knew about it, when the police were walking around.
Oh my God, is that out of
Trump
that's
talking,
insane?
the guy's still on the roof. No one said anything.
Lee, have you seen some of the conspiracies that they got video of him meeting with what was her name? The former director.
Did you see the video where they showed like something up on the water tower? There was like an image person up on the water tower.
Yeah. And
I love how the Congress is berating these people in the Secret Service. They can't answer one fucking question. That's the Secret Service. They can't answer one question.
Not one.
I can look into that. I can look into that and get back to you.
They're like, what are you looking into? You're in charge. You should know what the protocol is.
There's definitely something going on. Yeah. I mean, you can't. It just nothing makes sense. Nothing.
Unless you know what? Unless it is that broken.
No,
they have destroyed the system that bad.
No, something.
Then you start veering off into conspiracy theories. You know,
because it is.
But there's no evidence. Well, the only thing there is evidence so far of is incompetence. That's it.
No, but something doesn't make sense. Even though
the guy was in a BlackRock commercial, and BlackRock supposedly try to short the Trump stock for that Truth Social, right?
Supposedly, there's a picture of him in a military uniform meeting with what was her name? The head of the Secret Service. The guy.
Oh, really? That I didn't see, but I know that he was in a BlackRock commercial.
He was in that. But then when he was in high school,
so what? You don't think there's a relationship there?
But even like they said, I was watching. I love him. You ever seen that guy? He's been on a few interviews.
That would be like Big Rob, who worked. You know, Big Rob. Remember Big Rob? Mm-hmm. I don't want to start getting pizzas delivered.
How could we?
I'm just using you as an example. We found out Big Rob worked for the CIA. I mean, we'd be like, what the fuck? How is that possible? Because it's impossible unless it is possible.
But
there's a picture with him working for the CIA 10 years ago. He's an operative for them.
But those are the type of people the CIA hires.
Of course, because they're expendable.
Right.
Look at the time though when they first saw him and they had that 90 minutes, remember? Then it shows the police around the building. They got video of him on the roof, and not one call was made to Secret Service or someone to say, "Hey, get the president off the stage. We got a suspicion." Even when they found him with that, he had a golf rangefinder, and they said, "Oh, he's a suspicious character. Keep an eye on him." It's like,
right.
Things just don't make sense. The one thing I'm thinking about.
Don't you know any Greek people in the Secret Service that you can get some information from?
There's a Greek girl right now that's going on every podcast that she just came out of, and she's been doing all these podcasts. And she was. Here's the one thing I see, right? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but looking at all the details and the background that I have and all that good stuff is. This kid must have been set up. Okay, I know I'm going down a slippery slope here, but that kid must have been set up. They must have, I don't know, brainwashed him. Said, "Hey, listen, we need this, and this is just not a one-time thing. It just happened to be Trump, right? But this kid might have been somehow, some way in this."
Jimmy, and there was a van that he parked outside that had explosives rigged in there. He had a bicycle that he drove from the van to wherever he hit it. And then he went up on the roof, and then he was going to remote detonate. How did this kid have a remote detonation?
Right.
He's going to blow the van up. Come on.
Right.
Someone was working.
Did you see too? They found it funny too for a kid his age. Hardly knows no social media, nothing.
Right. Nothing.
Like everything.
No, but they found three. But they found 3 encrypted accounts overseas.
Yeah. And then they can't get into, but yet they could get into like Bin Laden.
Right. You can't get into that yet. Yeah. They're working on it.
Right.
But there's a lot of, the thing is, here's the problem. Okay. However he got up there, could it have just been, I mean, anything's possible, right? It could have just been incompetence, lapse of security, bad planning, mistakes, incompetence. The guy gets on the roof. Okay. He's shooting a fucking Kmart level AR-15 with no scope. It's got 1-to-1 sight with a red dot, which means, I mean, no sniper is going to use that rifle. No one with any training is going to try to do a kill shot from 150 yards with no scope. Okay, so right there, that just doesn't make any sense. Could the bullet have just missed Trump? Yeah.
Well, he was forced to shoot it too quickly because they spotted him, John. That's why they missed.
irrespective of whatever that is that the him getting there in the equipment he's using is absolutely amateurish, completely amateurish. So is it possible that that weird looking kid could have just gotten around bad security and gotten up on the roof?
No way. John, if it was amateurish, he wouldn't have flown a drone on top. He wouldn't have had the scanner. He wouldn't have had any of
the whole place. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would have just tried to climb on the roof and try to just shoot somebody.
Really?
This whole thing, to me, if there was a mistake, some negligence, the negligence was him getting on the roof. At that point on, he should have been out.
Apparently, the snipers that were inside had the windows open, could see right over to where he was.
Right.
So why did they take him out?
And why? And there was some order to stand down. If you notice, the snipers that were on the roof, there were two sniper teams. There was a north team and a south team. The team that we all are seeing with the guys with baseball caps on, they were on the roof of that front barn. Those guys could not see him. There was a tree in the way.
Right, but there were people who could.
No, yes, I'm saying that
all they had to do was call and say, "Don't bring Trump out." That's it.
That's all they had to do. But no,
that's all they had to do.
That's of course. There was a guy, that redheaded guy with the beard. Remember, he even said, "I can't even believe they wouldn't let him out." But what I'm trying to say is that the guys who were looking through the scope that everybody's showing on the news that were up on the roof, the guy with the tripod and the baseball cap on, they were looking way past where he was looking, because that type of rifle is for really long shots. So they were looking 400 yards and beyond. So probably the water tower.
And those pointing out the kid on the roof. All they had to do was say, "Hold."
Those
Trump.
guys were nowhere near there. They were all those guys were nowhere near those people. That's true. I'm not talking about that though. Yeah. The sniper team that was behind them with guys with the floppy hats on. Yeah, that was the guy who was able to kill the sniper. Those other guys, no one could see him except the people on the ground. The problem is they weren't communicating. They were all on different channels. So the cops were on one channel, Secret Service is on another channel, the FBI, whoever else, FBI was on another channel, and they had no command post communication. Right. So the left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. So apparently there was no way to communicate directly with the Secret Service from local police, because it was the local police who knew the guy was on the roof, not Secret Service.
But why couldn't they communicate to somebody to say, "Hey, don't bring Trump out. Something's going on"?
They should have been able to. They didn't have the same radio frequencies or some shit, but they could have made a fucking cell phone call.
You heard her explanation, John, when she came out. Now she's retired, but she said, "We didn't have snipers on that roof for their safety because it was too sloped."
So did she resign because she didn't want to get reamed again on a Tuesday?
No, they made her resign. She didn't want to resign.
But the thing is, was she forced to resign? And did she resign? Because Monday they drilled her, right? And she had no answers. Yeah. So on Tuesday she was going to go back, but she resigned Monday night or Tuesday morning. Now, if something comes up, does she still have legal issues? Can they indict her?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They told her, if you resign, we won't do that.
No, that's not what happened. Comer told her, "You either resign right now or I'm having Biden fire you."
Yeah, probably.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Biden would be fire. Get the fire truck. Where's there a fire?
Hold on. Let's move on. I want to talk about. There's a couple topics. We don't have that much time. I want to talk about this boxer from Algeria.
Oh man, I've been doing a lot of research on this. So
well, let me give you my research. First of all,
the poor girl from Italy probably trained her whole life to be an Olympic champion and gets beat by a man. It's like,
now the fighter from Algeria is an XY chromosome. Now, females are XX chromosomes. If you have a Y, you're technically a biological male. Mm-hmm. However, I think when she was born, she has what's called ambiguous genitalia, meaning that she probably didn't have a penis. She probably had a vagina, despite the fact that she is an XY chromosome. She's obviously producing testosterone. Her levels are very high, and she's failed tests for having high testosterone. It's not because she's injecting it. It's probably because her body is cranking it out like a man's would. From where? I have no idea. She probably doesn't have testicles, but she might have some internal testicles that you can't see. So while people are right, she's not technically transgender where she decided she was a male at birth and she changed her mind. She looks female genitalia-wise probably, but she's technically a male. And that's the problem. I mean, look at the size of her. I mean, she has lost boxing matches before. She's not annihilated everyone. So
wouldn't you say hermaphrodite then in that case?
No, because I mean, I don't think she's technically. She doesn't have the genetic makeup. Hermaphrodite would be having both. She's not. She's missing the male genitalia.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, I'm assuming because she's been probably in status.
No. I thought the boxing world wouldn't let her compete in the actual boxing. They said no against it.
That's exactly right. Last year, when the IBC, whatever it was called, they tested her. That's when she failed the DNA test for having an XY chromosome. She subsequently was tested for high testosterone.
Right.
Also, so you have, and she's got genetic male characteristics. So
yeah.
It looks like a guy in the face with makeup.
Pretty close. So that federation banned her from fighting with the girls. When we got to France, as the opening ceremony will dictate, they're very soft on this kind of stuff. So you're right, Dave. Completely, there's no transgender issue here at all. This is a malfunction of nature.
Yeah,
this is a malfunction of nature that created something that never should have been allowed in the ring with a girl.
Right. Unfortunately,
that's what happened. So all of this conjecture regarding whether she's transgender, has a sexual mutation, or genes that are different, or this disease or that disease, none of that matters. None of it matters. Just
John,
look at her and look at her. That's
John,
all you got to know.
On an application, what box does she check?
Her passport says female. She checks the female box. She may well have a vagina. Absolutely, totally possible.
So why would she not box against females?
Because it. Yeah, John.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say because number one, just because you have a vagina doesn't mean you're a female. It's what your genetic makeup is that should dictate what your gender is.
See, this is a whole new. Listen, this is just a whole new can of worms. You see where we all say if you have a penis or you have a vagina, you're a male and female. Now all of a sudden, this whole thing just
because you can change that. So that's not really true,
Yeah, that's true too. But the
have you seen Caster Semenya from? I think she's Kenyan. Hold on, let me pull her a picture up here.
Well, you're still a male with a vagina.
She's been also victimized, and they said that she's a man because what her issue is, she's a female. Genetically too, but she produces very high testosterone levels naturally. See, the way I see it, she's fine because she's just a genetic freak. It's like Flex Wheeler having no myostatin or something like that. She just happens to produce testosterone, but she's a genetic female. So you can't, they wanted to give her testosterone blockers. Fuck that. She's a genetic freak. She's better than everyone else.
That's like my mother, Dave. My mother has higher testosterone. To keep her male level down.
Right. So my point is that's a gift she has. But if you're an XY chromosome, you're actually a man, even if you don't look like one genitalia was.
Right.
That's what the problem.
What it comes down to is the secondary sexual characteristics and physical characteristics that the XY chromosome, initiates in physical development through puberty. That girl guy went through puberty mostly as a dude. Right. So he's got dude body, dude reflexes, dude everything. So, there is no way in the world. Somebody needs to sue that federation.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All the Algerian boxer is missing is the genitalia, evidently.
And we don't even know that for sure.
No, it is because otherwise we wouldn't even be talking about this. She's obviously missing the genitalia, whether it was chopped off at birth or she never had them because if she has an ambiguous sex characteristics. She doesn't have it, so they raised her as a girl, but she's technically really a boy.
But she's Muslim, right?
I don't know.
She's Muslim because there was somebody on my post saying that she's. Yeah. They're trying to stand up for her, saying no, we knew her when she was a kid. But don't they do genital mutilation in Sharia law? If they're following Sharia law, they cut the girl's clit off.
That's barbaric. They don't do that anymore.
Yes,
John.
they do. Yes, they do.
I don't think
In Iran, in Iraq, Pakistan, Afghanistan,
They
they
still
do
do
that
that?
shit all over the place.
Yeah.
The reason they do it is so the woman cannot have pleasure during sex, so she won't cheat on the husband.
I think they stopped doing that a while ago, John.
If Sharia law is followed to the letter in those countries.
Look on the bright side, that female.
So in other words,
I'm not saying that this girl was following Sharia law, or that she's a Sharia, follower. I'm just saying there is a practice in Sharia law where that is required.
Well, look on the bright side. She can get home to her country. They'll have a big parade for her down the main street, take her up to the building and throw her off.
Yeah. In a way, I got to tell you, I kind of feel sorry for her.
I feel really sorry for her.
Yeah.
Because you know why, Jimmy? Because in all fairness, it's like everybody thinks that it's like bodybuilders. Just because you go to the gym and lift weights doesn't mean you should compete.
Right.
And sometimes if someone female bodybuilding was getting out of hand, if you're creating something that nobody wants to pay to see, that doesn't mean that somebody is required to provide you a venue to showcase your wares. Okay. So there's no law or guaranteeing everybody the right to compete in the Olympics. If you are able to if you are able to become an elite athlete, fit in all the categories and follow all the rules, then you should be able to be an Olympic athlete. If you have an issue that creates an absolute unfairness and a detriment to the other side, sorry, I don't want to talk
here's
about
the problem, John. You know
or what your genes are or whatever. You just can't play. You got to do something else.
Here's the problem. They're saying people are asking, is she a woman? Yes, she's a woman. Is she a biological female? No. And that's where I think we need to make that distinction. She was raised female. She was raised as a woman. She is a woman in every sense of the word. Okay. Even maybe how she looks down there, but she's a biological male. And I think that's the problem. And I think that you have to be categorized when you compete in sports according to what you are genetically. As I know it sounds weird, but because there is an advantage. She grew up, her bone structure is stronger, her connective tissue is stronger, her muscle mass is stronger because she developed as a male. Okay.
Isn't this little ironic that here's a quote female that wants to be a female,
right?
And now we're telling her she's a male.
Well, she's not. Yeah, she's not really a female. She's a biological male who's been raised a female.
Okay,
so John, I get it.
If I was managing her career, I would say fight dudes.
Yes, right.
Be a woman and fight dudes.
Yeah,
Start beating the shit out of men. Then you'd be a fucking worldwide hero.
Right.
Everybody hates men these days. So if you're a girl beating up men,
I heard Tyson said he would fight and do a charity event against her and donate the money to women.
She should fight dudes and beat them. That if you want to really, turn one of nature's mistakes, make lemonade out of lemons, so to speak.
It's what Lee said, with the Huck Tua girl and the Catch Me Outside, man.
Huck Tua could be the one walking her out from the dressing room.
Hey, do you think Valentino would Valentino do this chick?
What's that?
Would Valentino do this chick?
If he didn't have his gallbladder taken out, he might.
In other words,
they'd probably spend so much time in the restaurant arguing over the fucking bun that they wouldn't have any time to hook up.
No, would Greg think she was attractive? Because she's kind of got that straight body.
I don't want to go there because I don't want to be unfair to Lucia.
We'll ask him on Tuesday.
The saddest thing is, though, that the real biological woman, if we can say that, trained the whole life from a young girl to be an Olympic athlete, hopefully win a medal. And she just had to stop the fight, and she just broke down in tears saying this isn't right. So that's who I feel.
You know what the funny thing is? People have beaten this woman before. She's lost matches. Some girl from Ireland beat her once. So she's not unbeatable.
How come they disqualified her from the World Games and they let her compete in the Olympics?
I just explained that.
Because it's like Rafael Santoja versus Jim Mansley. They have different rules.
The French are softer than the other side.
Look at the opening ceremony, for God's sake.
Right.
The last supper.
That was embarrassing.
They don't even realize how embarrassing they are. That's why the French get such a bad reputation, because they do.
But do you think if they had have done it's like people said, they made fun of the religion. They said it wasn't the Last Supper, it was his other picture. We could tell it was the Last Supper. Now, do you think Paris would be burning now if they did that with Mohammed?
Oh my God! Yeah, it would be up in the Eiffel Tower would be rubble right now.
Yeah, it would be lawn dart.
Yeah. All right, I want to talk about one more thing because before we wrap this up, we have the Tampa Pro coming up this weekend.
Oh wow!
Are you going there, Jimmy, or no?
I'm going tomorrow. Yeah, I got a couple guys in there.
Yeah, I have a few people in the show too. I'm not going just because I'm seeing my kids on the weekend, but let's look at the lineup here. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull that up. And
who stands out? Who do you guys have stands out right from the lineup?
Well, Mo Foda, just did really well, and Vlad Saruco did very well. So they got to be, the two
and
of the
top.
Then
you got De La Rosa coming on.
De La Rosa's coming back. I'm surprised he's doing the show because, I thought he was going to shut it down to the Olympia, but maybe because he lives, here in Florida. He wants to do it.
Good podcast with PJ too. PJ and I were talking. He goes, I thought Dave was going to send you the link to come on. He goes, I want to be on a show with you. So Dave, you have to bring PJ and I on a show together.
Oh,
yeah,
all right. Well,
sure.
I should have had him on today, but we'll get him on. We'll get him
next week.
Yeah, we can get him on next week. That's good.
Yep.
So, who do you like in this lineup, Lee?
No one.
Yeah, you're starting to become like Greg with the bodybuilding. I'm telling you.
Well, really, unless I'm there and I actually know someone that's thing, I just really sadly don't care. I'm going to see Deadpool and Wolverine today. That's more exciting.
All right.
But really, like I said, I'll watch the Olympia or the Arnold, but some of these smaller shows, like if somebody I know that's in it, like James or someone, I show interest, but then sometimes I'm just like, yeah, it's a bodybuilding show. If they have like a bit of a thing on the YouTube, I'll sort of watch it, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't float my boat anymore.
I think his eye. I think he had an eye transplant of a non-body.
That's right. And I'm seeing the world more clearly now.
Is that name Sirhan on there?
Yeah, I think so.
Sirhan, yeah. Didn't he kill Bobby Kennedy?
Did he try?
I guess they let him out of jail, John.
He took up bodybuilding in prison. Look, he's out.
He must be in the Masters then. He'd have to be pretty old by now.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think he's dead.
No, he's still in prison. Bobby Kennedy Jr. actually went and met with him or something.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe he did die recently.
I've seen some competitors on stage, John, that look almost dead.
So Dave, who do you have at the Tampa?
I just have a couple of people in the amateur show there, and some of the I had them in the Masters divisions, the Pro Masters there.
This is terrible that I only recognize 2 names on that whole list.
I do too.
It's fucking awful.
I actually just pulled the list up. I'm like, hold on, let me see.
So you can see it better.
Sinbad's in the show.
Wow. I'm like, holy shit.
But isn't that crazy? I remember all these shows. I hate to say it, back in the day. Like you'd have a lineup like a Florida show back in the day or other shows, and you'd pretty much know the top 10's names.
Everybody.
Yeah, but don't forget, guys, we were still involved.
Yeah, okay. But still, like you'd still know the names when you like.
Sirhan is 80 years old. He's still in prison.
Wow.
You know what the funny thing is? He's dumber than the kid who went on the roof to try to shoot Trump because he's been in prison for like whatever,
forever,
60 years, 45 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
the guy on the roof is gotten. Well, he's out of here. You know what I mean?
The young kid would have got shot being let out of the prison like Lee Harvey Oswald anyway. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Who knows? But
he would have been Epstein in jail, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, you got De La Rosa, you got Mo. I like Mo. He won the Chicago, didn't he?
Yeah. He looked great. And Vlad is a freak too. I mean, that's going to be a rematch.
Maybe those 3 there.
Right, Vlad.
Yeah. John De La Rosa, Vlad, and Mo could be the top 3.
It's the only names we know.
Exactly. That's it. That's the show.
Well, was it the Tampa back then, or the second tier shows, right?
I don't think it's a second tier show anymore. I think it's look. Yeah. Let's face it.
We can tell by the huge names in there, Dave. It's fucking up there with the Olympics.
You can determine what's a top show and what's not by the money. I think I have to say that New York Pro, the Arnold, the Olympia, and now I would add Dubai to that. They give $100,000 away for first place.
And they're going up to
500 next year.
Yeah, 500.
500 next year?
Yeah.
Total purse.
Total
purse, not for the first
But
place.
still, that's a lot of money to get. I think Dubai is going to hit the million before anyone if they're allowed.
I think so too, because I think if the sheikh over there starts throwing some cash into the pot, I think it's going to go to $1 million. But those are the four. That's the four premier shows now, because let's face it, the best guys go to the shows with the most money. I mean, that's just. I think a lot of guys wanted to see if Dubai would actually produce what they said they produced. Now everyone's probably kicking themselves for not doing the show because they gave up $100,000. I mean, essentially.
Right. Wouldn't the Pittsburgh be in there?
Pittsburgh doesn't have a pro open.
That's right.
So,
but you got 14 guest posers.
Yeah, well, it's just a popular show. But I'm talking about in terms of premier shows. The shows that give away the most money will always be the premier shows. I said New York, Arnold, Dubai, and
you have a choice: guest pose and improve your placing. But
all the pro shows, thanks to Guy Sistina's company, I think it got 10,000 added to first place.
Yeah.
So
that was a sweet move, man.
Yeah.
Right. It's by MI40 or something like that.
MIT 45.
Yeah. MIT 40. Is that a supplement company?
They sell Kratom.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So
they're getting big, man.
They're ingredient wholesaler.
I hope for their sake that they don't make it illegal. But my spidey sense says that the government's going to.
I agree with you. It's going to go like the way of ephedra.
Yeah.
Too good it works. People like it. It works, and it's too good. We'll take it off them.
Of course, they always do. Look at GHB.
Ephedra, same thing.
Exactly.
Is any of you guys taking Kratom?
Yeah, I'm sponsored by them, and I've used. And that's the thing. I know people have said they can get addicted and that, but when you see the stories of the ones that got addicted, it was more like Kratom mixtures, because there's different levels of Kratom purities and that. Yeah. A lot of the ones that got addicted, it's like, I'd say it was more habit forming, like a cup of coffee, because I've used it for 6 months, run out, stopped it, never had any withdrawals, never like, oh, I got to have it because
you're not a really addicted. You're not an addictive personality.
You're not addictive personality.
You can do cocaine one night, tie your penis to the coffee table, and then the next you're fine. So
but then it's like, you remember I was on Oxycontin when I had my neck operation.
Yeah, you were fine. You're not an addict. You're not an addictive person.
Under Oxycontin, I didn't think I was addicted to it till I stopped it. Then I put myself in detox for 2 weeks. That was terrible. The other thing was in detox though, when I go in there, you got all the junkies and the heroin users. Aren't you Lee Priest?
Yeah, I'm one of you guys now. Yeah. All right, I got to wrap this up, so I got to go. But guys, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I appreciate all the insights, Jimmy. Yep. If people only knew how good the show was before the show started.
Oh, yes.
Right. That was the best show that wasn't a show yet.
That's right. Lee, I hope your eye is healing well. Keep us updated, and Tuesday we'll ask Greg if he would date the Algerian.
Was it Greg's birthday yesterday or today?
Whose?
Greg's.
Was it Greg's birthday?
Didn't say so on social media.
I'm pretty sure Joe sent me a thing saying, "Do you want to come on the podcast?"
I think Greg got his gallbladder taken out. I'm not sure though. I'm gonna.
Did you hear he was diabetic too?
I didn't know that. No. Well, guys, we'll see you again next week. Dave Palumbo, Jimmy Mentis, John Romano, and Lee Priest. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
Bye, guys.